Well, all week we've been featuring fun Halloween activities and themes.
Nothing says Halloween quite like a good mask. Pure Nebraska's David Jesperson is standing by live with more on an exhibit featuring the work of a local mask maker.
Yeah, good morning, John and Taryn. We're at the Nebraska History Museum where we're talking about masks, and more specifically, the artistic mask created by a Nebraska native, Doan Powell. And here to talk to us more about that is Deb Arns with the museum. Thank you very much for joining us today. And earlier we talked a little bit about who Doan was. Let's talk about why he decided to make these masks.
Sure. Well, again, like we said earlier, I'm not entirely sure why he chose to make masks other than probably artistic vision and filling a niche. That's what we think. His masks were used at costume parties, masquerade balls, in plays, in advertising, on television. And so you can see some of probably a little bit of his audience in the masks he made. The masks behind us are actually of popular entertainers from the day. So Janet Gaynor and Glenda Farrell and Ginger Rogers. So if you like to watch old movies, you'll recognize these names. And these were probably used primarily for costume balls and parties. And you can see in the picture behind it, there's just a bunch of people, happy people getting together wearing the masks. And then he did political figures, and some of those might have been used on television and parodies or also in advertising. And he kind of experimented too. So he did animal masks, which we have a few over here, although he says in his book that they really didn't work out very well because animals usually have their eyes on the side of their head, but obviously if a human is wearing a mask, the eyes have to be in the front. So they're a little odd and maybe a little bit creepy. I don't think he specialized in animal masks.
It does humanize the animal a lot more than normal.
It does, absolutely. And then he also started making half masks, which I find fascinating. And we have this one very grumpy man who's a half mask. And in his book, he talks about how half masks are great because the user can then be more lifelike. They can smoke, they can sing, they can talk. But he recommended that they only be used by men with full mustaches because it helps to hide the seam. But then right down there, we have a half mask of a female. So either he didn't mind the females having bushy mustaches, or he somehow made it work.
The other thing that is fascinating is we have masks that he would make for folks to wear on the back of their heads even. So he was very creative.
He was. And the one we have, I don't know if you're showing it now, but the tongue is sticking out, and that was to be on the back of the head. Honestly, I don't know what that was used for. My guess, it was a party.
It was for some fun.
Yeah.
The other thing we mentioned earlier is that he did a lot of advertising, and on the end of the row here, we have a famous advertising cow.
Yes, so we have Elsie the cow from Borden, so a lot of us would recognize that from advertisement and milk cartons. So this probably was used in advertisement. We have quite a few print ads in our collection where the masks are used in different variations. So this is a recognizable figure. He did feel that the recognizable figures were the best masks because obviously people knew who they were and it was fun for them to wear it and pretend they were someone else for a while.
Deb, thank you so much. What a fun exhibit right before Halloween. Plenty of time to come out and check it out. Even if you can't make it here before Halloween, the exhibit's going to be going on for several months, and then they're actually going to swap out some of the masks and change up what the exhibit looks like. So you have plenty of time. Head on down to the Nebraska History Museum to check out the masks of Doan Powell. Let's take a look at your farm markets for today.